Today, I'll show you how to make this Scrappy St. Patty's Day wreath. With just a wire wreath form, some scrap fabric, and a lot of time and patience, you can whip one of these up in a snap. I'll show you how next. Alright guys, so the things that you're going to need to make this St. Patty's Day wreath are a wire wreath form. I got this one at the Goodwill for 39 cents. And it's about 14 inches wide. You're also going to need an assortment of green fabrics. I dug through my stash here and I picked out all the green that I think will look cute in this wreath. The tutorial that I saw said you need about 2 yards of fabric. She only used one print and that wreath still turned out really cute. But I want a scrappy effect here, so I'm hoping I have enough fabric. You're also going to need your rotary cutter and a ruler. You could also just tear this fabric and it gives it a frayed look on the edges. But I'm just going to go ahead and cut these all up. And finally, you're going to need a lot of time and a lot of patience. Let's get started. So the first thing that I'm going to do is go ahead and cut up all my fabric into strips. We want these strips to be about 1 inch by 8 inches, and we need about 330 of them. Like I said, you could just put a couple snips in the fabric here every inch and then tear it, and that'll give it a frayed, fuzzy look on the edges, but I'm just going to cut them. So I'm just going to snip off the selvage here. And then just cut every inch. Alright guys, so I have that first chunk of fabric all cut up here into strips. Now the next thing we're going to want to do is cut these 1 inch strips into 8 inch long pieces. And to do this, I'm going to stack about 3 or 4 together just to make it go a little faster. And I don't know if you can see it here, but my edges right here aren't that straight. But I'm not going to care about that, because once you get these all tied together and it's all fluffy on the wreath, you won't even notice. So now I'm just going to measure down 8 inches. Right here, and snip it off. Now measure down another 8 inches and snip it off. And this goes to the scrap bag. Alright guys, so I'm going to continue cutting these 1 inch by 8 inch strips, and I'll bring you back when I have all my fabric cut up. Alright guys, so I have my strips all cut up here. And just a PSA about using a rotary cutter. Really watch where your fingers are when you're cutting these strips. And don't try to be Speedy Gonzalez and try to cut these all so you can get a video done in one afternoon. This is what will happen. I have 4 band-aids wrapped around this thing because it won't stop bleeding. But I'll be brave and I'll carry on. Now the tutorial on Pinterest that I used for this wreath said to get about 330 pieces. I sure hope this is 330 pieces. If not, we'll find out together. So our next step is to go ahead and grab your wire wreath form. Alright guys, so now you just want to grab a piece of fabric. I'm just going to grab from this pile at random. And your wire form should have 4 wires. So this first strip is going to go on the outer 2 wires. Just like that, and you want to tie it in a knot. Just like that. Now grab another piece of fabric, and we're going to tie this to the inner 2 wires. Tie that in a knot. Now grab a third piece of fabric, and we're going to tie this on the inner 2 wires. Just like that. Now for the 4th piece, we're going to go back to the outer 2 wires. And we're just going to continue doing that until this whole thing is filled up. Now of course I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me do all this, so I'm going to cut the camera and I'm going to go pop in a movie. I'll show you what this looks like when I'm done. Alright guys, only about an hour and a half later, and this Scrappy St. Patty's Day wreath is done. And here is what the back looks like. Now I think it looks awesome right now, but next time I get into town, I might try to find some shamrocks or a nice green bow to also put on this. Now I'm going to hang this on my door, and it's covered. I really don't think this would be a great wreath to hang outside if it gets wet or snowed on. It was really easy to make, despite my injury. This is a great stash busting project, and you don't have to just use green. I saw one online that just had whatever fabric you had, and it still looked great. I hope you give this project a try. If you like my videos and want to see more of my videos, go down below and hit the big red subscribe button, and give this video a big thumbs up. If you have a question about this video, or any of my other videos, or would just like to leave a suggestion for a future upcoming video, leave me a comment. Feel free to share this video across your social medias. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.